Welcome back. Today, we're going to take another look at Workspace Studio, and we're going to start by sending ourselves some email, such as a daily update. Then we're going to move into sending ourselves a stock email based off of some financial functions in Google Sheets. And we are going to end with how we've created a form and we utilize Google Sheets as a database and we email ourselves results from that database. So let's get started. So right here, you've got the Workspace Studio, and let's take a look at my current flows that I have, and let's discuss some of these. Okay, we're going to talk about these three flows here, and I'm going to walk you through the first one so that I show you how to create one. And then we'll just open the others, and we'll just talk about them. So to get started, you either go into Discover, and you write what you want in the Create under Gemini section, or you click here on the plus sign and let's create one from scratch. So first you got to choose a starter. I call it a trigger event. Most of the time you'll just do it on a schedule unless there's a trigger event, such as when you get an email from a particular person or to scour all of your email, something like that. So let's set it up. So on a schedule, we'll do weekdays at, we'll say noon. And so there we go. Every weekday, it ends in a year. Let's choose the next step. Now this has changed since it originally came out. Originally, it had actually a lot more functions. For instance, you could do a gem, right? You could come down here and you could send an email to anyone. That then changed to draft only that you could create, which wasn't very useful. But at least now you can notify yourself by email. So at least you can send yourself an email. Draft an email was not very beneficial at all. The other things that have changed is they've taken out a lot of the third-party apps that were originally in here. And I'm assuming that somebody did something that violated some contract agreement and they went back to the drawing board with it. So they'll re-release the third-party apps. Some of those apps were Jira, Salesforce. I think there was MailChimp and several others. So let's take a look at this task that we're going to create. We're going to do on a schedule at noon. We are going to get the sheet contents of a spreadsheet that we have. It's a Google sheet. And we're on this one, we're going to go get stock prices. Okay. So what you do here is you go down here. Here's some stock prices that I track. So with Google, in the Google Sheets, you can actually report different things such as Google Financials. So I can actually go get stock prices. And what you do then is you concatenate those into just a memo line, right? And let's take a look at that. So what we do here is we just say what the sheet name is, which is sheet 1. Okay. The column, it's going to be stock update. And then what we're looking for is any data. So let me open this sheet and I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Show you what we're talking about here. Okay. And stocks. So what you've got here is the column name is stock update. And I've done a concatenation here. Your Amazon stock price is currently $222. NVIDIA is $177, Sentinel 1, and Bitminer Immersion is $31.39. But I've concatenated it into a memo section so that it'll be emailed to me nicely. So instead of me having to go scour the internet at noon, look up all this information that I want to get, I just go out here and I'm like, hey, give me a stock update with some of the stocks that I hold. All right, let's get back to that flow. Okay, now go to add step. And what we'll do is we're going to send ourselves an email. Okay, subject line here is just stock update. We'll call it 2 because I've already done one. And all we're going to do here is under the variables is we're going to reach back into step 2. And we're going to get the contents of the column stock updates. Okay. So It's as simple as that. We give it a subject line, and then we give it the message. So what we want to do next is we want to give it a name. Okay, stock update 2, because I already have one. All right. So let's next go do a test run. Okay, let's go ahead and hit start. Now what that's going to do, you can see it running step 1. Step 2, it went and got the contents of cell A2, and it sent me an update. Right there, you can see it. It's also in my sent box. That would be done now. Now, if you're happy with everything, you just go right here and you say, turn it on, and it's going to save your flow. Okay. Now, let's go look at some more that we've got here. Let's first look at the email. If you look at sent, right here's the noon update. Oh, that's not the one actually. There it is, stock update 2. There it is. Your Amazon stock price is currently $222, just like we've previously seen. And there's the whole line. Okay. Now, let's go do another one, except this time we're going to utilize Gemini. Okay. So we'll go back into stock update 2. Let's go back. Let's take a look at this. This one was just get the news headlines summarized daily. Very similar, right? We start with a schedule and we'll say, I want to get updates at noon. And then we say, all right, then you give it exactly what you want in Gemini. So we give it this prompt. It's a long prompt, but you can go in there and you can, this is actually a template. So, and then all you have to do is come down here in your context and say, I'm interested in important and recent news on the following topics: AI, the stock market, Purdue's basketball. I should make that Purdue's men's basketball. Okay. Notre Dame football, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right. I'm a Jaguars fan. I'm an OG. So I went through a lot of tough years. It's about time we're starting to have a good team. Pretty excited about it. Hopefully we make the playoffs. We got a tough game coming up this weekend against Denver Broncos. And then I went ahead back to my context here. I want the following 4 stock quotes, right? Okay. So then after that runs, we send ourselves an email just like before. So let's go ahead and save this because we made the changes. Okay. And then we're going to do a test run for this one. All right. There it goes. And while that's sending, the next one we're going to talk about is how a small business might use this. What a small business can do is kind of utilize Google Sheets as a database. So for instance, there's a section of Google Workspace called Google Forms. And what you can do is, let's say you want to create a form like IT help desk. Okay. I went ahead and took care of that and I created one here. And here's the IT help desk, right? Who's the ticket for? It's reported by who else? Because you might have one person submit it, but it's for another person whose computer's down, right? Description of the issue, right? The user affected. Here's the category. You have a computer, an ERP system like SAP, a printer, a cell phone, right? Here's low, normal, emergency, right? Here we go. And this is actually just storing it into a Google Sheet. And I will show you that Google Sheet. It's right here. So here's an example of some of the database fields that I basically created, where Sheets acts like a database, right? So here's a couple of them. We put in 2 help desk tickets. One's a computer problem. One's an ERP problem. One's a normal. One's an emergency ticket. Okay. Then what you'll do, that by default comes out there. And just like in the other one, we'll concatenate this and create the sentence that we want to see inside our email address. So right here, it'll say sell, submitted a help desk ticket. So that'd be stan@jesdigital.com, create a help desk ticket on 12/16/25. And this will go ahead and show, let's say you have an IT manager, it'll show the IT manager a daily update. Here's all the tickets, right? You could have things on here that trigger. You could only show like late tickets, tickets that are emergencies. You could do different filtering. But let me show you the end result and what that'll look like. Okay. Well, talking about our previous one that we ran, Gemini's too busy right now to run that. But fortunately for you, I already ran it. I will show you that end result. But let's go ahead and look at these flows again. Here's that one we were just talking about. It is the IT help desk email, right? And so this one, it goes on a schedule. We'll say weekday at 8 a.m. It will go get the Google Sheets content. That's that 2 sections that I showed you about, those 2 sentences. And it'll send myself an email. And let's look at what the end result like that looks like. And here we go. So we've got the IT Daily Help Desk update, right? The following tickets are due. Right here, it talks about Stan at Jez Digital submitted a help desk ticket at 12/16/25 with the following description. My Google Sheets doesn't have access to all the forms, right? And then it shows another ticket here that says Stan at Jez Digital submitted a ticket, right? Just testing a second problem, yada, yada, yada. So this is using the Google Sheets like it's a database, right? So where Zapier is not quite, Google Workspace Automate is not at Zapier level yet or N8N level. It is, you can see the road path that they're going down here. So let's take a look at, there's a stock quote that we did, and let's see, noon update. Here's the noon update, okay, where it's talking about all that stuff that I want to talk about. This to me is really beneficial because I want to stay off the internet as much as humanly possible. And I would prefer just to send myself email and have Gemini go look at topics I'm interested in and give me like daily updates. So here it is. It's got 9 things that it's going to send me a daily update on, right? At this time, which was 3:10, it gives me all the stock prices that I'm interested in. It gives me some AI news here, right? It gives me my Jacksonville Jaguars news. Even though I like Purdue basketball, I'm a big fan of Notre Dame football. So I grew up in Northern Indiana, so you kind of have to up there. So it was a tough break this year for the Fighting Irish, not getting invited to the CFP. So that's been a hot button topic here. And down here, you talk about Purdue basketball. So, and what's pretty cool about this is I asked it also to submit all the links. So anytime it gives me a story on Purdue, Notre Dame, or something in AI, it gives you the links in here so you can go delve a little deeper into the topic that you're interested in. So let's go ahead and look back at this. And so if we run that again, we'll say, test this run. Okay, so now what this one's doing is it's going to go on a schedule, a trigger event, like we talked about earlier, every day at noon or 8 a.m. It goes out and gets that Google Sheet content. This is for the IT help desk. And then down here, it's going to notify me by email. And inside your Google Workspace, you'll have a section called Forms. And all I'm doing is going into here, Forms, and I'm just creating a blank form, right? And the cool thing here is you can actually tell it what you want your form to look like, right? So I can say, create a IT help desk form with standard fields, right? And Gemini is actually going to just go create that for you. And it's going to tie it into a spreadsheet for you, right? So you're going to watch it generate right here. There you go. And it's smart enough to know what you want, right? And you can see, say, oh, I either like this, right? That looks pretty good, right? Let's say, all right. We'll say, yeah, we'll take it. Say create form. Okay, so it's creating a folder for me. It's building it out right there. And then you can link to a sheet, create a new sheet. And there you have it. All you have to do from here is add the concatenation that we talked about earlier. And that would be over here. So you got all your timestamps, right? And then all you got to do is down here, you create a new one called, just give it a column name, right? So let's call Workspace Studio. We'll say email, right? And then all you're doing here is a concatenation equals. You go over here, link it up, right? So equals that. You actually would want to do this, just in case anyone's interested. You'd want to give it a format. Let's see, we'll do month, day, year, right? Close the bracket, concatenation, and say, this is the date, all right? And let's see, and we'll close that. And that's it. Summary of the issue. There you go, timestamp. I'll just say is equal to now. Just to keep it simple. Okay. There we go. And here's your concatenation, right? There you go. Oh, you want to put a space in here. So up here, oops, go back, create, this is the date. So now that's our mini database that we've got. Okay. And then we'd go back in and we'd create another IT help desk. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through all this real quick. Okay. Choose a starter on a schedule. Weekdays at 8. Choose a step. We're going to go out, get sheet contents, spreadsheet. Okay, which one was this called? IT support request responses. I think we named the same thing twice. Okay. Come back here. Okay, and then we come down here, form responses once. Timestamp. We go any value. Okay, and that's it. Add step. We're going to send ourselves an email. New tickets. Okay, and all we're going to do is just go grab that concatenation. Right there. So we grab the matching values, Workspace Studio email, right there. And that's it. Go back here. We do a test run. And we'll get that concatenation. And now it's working for us just similar to a database, right? Just it'd be great for a small mom and pop business that you guys just want to track some tickets, something simple. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other uses out there for you guys for forms. And then let's go check that out. Oh, that one hasn't come yet. There's the new tickets. And there's that concatenation that we made. 12, 16, 25. This is the date. That's exactly what we made. We kind of made our own little database. So it's a great way to start our automation process off. And I'm sure as this program grows, we're going to get more and more hooks in there. And so you're going to see things like Salesforce come back in. You're going to see, I'm sure, Jira come back in. There's going to be a lot of other products that you use. Hopefully in the future, you can send these emails off to anyone else. So, but anyhow, well, thanks for joining me again. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put them down below. If you guys want me to do anything else for you, show you anything else. So I'm going to show you guys some cursor and some Google anti-gravity later in the week. And if there's anything else you guys would like to see, let me know down below, and like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.